Hey everyone, welcome back. It's July 24th, a Friday night, a little after 8:30 at night, and boy is it hot in here. Yes sir, it's definitely July. Okay, welcome back to video number 6. I have so much to share with you, so much to show you. This is very exciting, and I hope you have a great time. Yes, indeed, the boat is done and ready for reassembly. So I had almost all of the wood and structure replaced. Everything was redone with the exception of the 2 stringers for the motor mounts. All the wood was rotten, so everything is new. The bulkheads, the floor, the structure, the deck support. The deck supports, the fuel tanks were cut out, rebuilt, glass back into the boat, all new everything, including new fuel fills. They didn't have time originally to re-gel the top of the boat, but they were able to do it. So the top has been redone. This is the original blue. They were able to save it. The silver had to be resprayed, including the dash. The boat looks absolutely magnificent. This is basically a brand new boat. All new wood, new gel coat on the top. The bottom has been re-gel coated, and so has the transom. Those 2 gigantic 1-inch holes are gone. I told you it really bothered me. It sure did. Bam! Look at that. It took them a little over 2 months to do all of that work, and that was a ton of work. Basically rebuilding the boat back to new, and it looks so good. You got to see it in person. It's unbelievable. It really is. It looks better than it ever has. Like I said, it's basically brand new. And so it took them a little over 2 months. I've had the boat back for a couple weeks. I have not started reassembling it yet. But like I said in the previous videos, I want to show you everything that I have purchased, everything I have set up, and I want you to see everything that's going to go into the boat before I begin. So the last 2 weekends in a row, I've been in Arizona acquiring parts. Now, if you remember, my biggest problem was the jet drive. And I have something really special to tell you about that. And judging by my smile, it's good news. Yes, it is. Now, before frustration sets in and everyone at home is like, you know what, that guy's lazy. He doesn't really have that much of a work ethic. I'm not meaning to put negative words in your mouth. I just want you to understand, I'm an over-the-road truck driver, and I'm not even in this state during the week. And when I get home at the end of the week, my legs are all swollen. I am exhausted. I have to recover. A lot of times I only get 34 hours off, 40 hours off. And, there's not a lot of time to do work like this because there's husband work, there's housework, there's groceries, there's life work that has to get done. So I'm trying to fit this in as efficiently as I can. I am so thankful for Menace Marine in Castaic, California. They work with me, they work with my budget, and they did everything I asked them to do. And I am over the moon happy with the job they did for me. And I'm not sponsored, there's no kickbacks, there's nothing here. I'm just telling you, it's a great shop, and they did a great job for me, and I recommend them. Amazing. But I'm doing my best to be as efficient as possible. I don't know if this boat's going to run this summer, but I'm going to try. Maybe September. I don't know, because it's not just putting it back together, which would be a whole lot faster, but it's a complete re-rig, complete rewiring, rerouting, plumbing, absolutely everything. Okay, so please be patient with me on that. I just want to share this experience with you. So let's get on with it. All right, I want to show you everything that I have planned and prepped, parts wise, ready for the boat, and things that are different. So let's start with number one. Oh, man, this boat looks good. So when they rebuilt the fuel tanks, they put a sending unit in each tank, and they ran me long lead lines. So now I'm going to use a momentary switch, and I haven't decided if I'm going to put it to the left of where the steering is, that hole, or to the right of the steering where the bilge used to be. And I believe I'm going to switch it and put that momentary switch to the right of the steering wheel in the bilge on the left. And with that momentary switch, I can toggle left and know what my fuel level is on the left tank, and of course toggle right and know right tank. But it's going to be one gauge only. So that's going to be a neat thing, because before I can only know what was in the left tank only, and then you had to guess. It's a a dual draw into one. They're teed together, but you never know if you have a problem or if you're sucking air or that kind of thing. Okay, let's go through the parts. We're just going to start from the right here, and I'm going to show you everything. So I'm not going AN hose because I'm on a budget, and so this is all the Coast Guard approved ABYC marine grade 3/4 inch water line, 5/8 water line, 3/8 fuel line, and bilge outlet hose. All right, right there I have a bag of two different sizes of Adel clips. I have a brand new set of Moroso spark plug wires. I already did change spark plug wires to a Moroso set, an 8mm set, because the engine was misfiring on 2 cylinders. And I wanted to make sure it ran good before I took it apart. So those are a little bit too short, even though they were under the header length, Air Fingers quote. But I'm just not happy with them, so I bought another set, and that's what those are right there. Okay, I have exhaust manifold gaskets there, both square port in copper and round port in fiber. Look what I have here. Thank you to Chris from Menace Marine. I was actually on vacation. Yeah, I went on vacation, and we had scheduled and paid for this vacation before we even knew we were going to get to buy our boat back. And my wife ended up paying for almost all of it. I think I spent maybe $150. And she took me to Hawaii. And we love militaria, and we went to every museum we can go to. And we only swam 2 days because we were just discovering the island and exploring. But I said to myself, you know what? I should get some sun. I was out in the sun without a shirt for about 2.5 hours, and it looked like I went to a viewing of an atomic blast. Yeah, just absolutely cooked. I survived, but here's a funny picture to show you. And he called me, and he found these headers. He knew I had some feelers out for these. These are Bassett long tube bell end headers. These are what came on the boat originally. These are what my heart desires. I love the look of these. I know they rob a little bit of power, but overall, these are hen's teeth to find, and I am so thrilled and lucky that Chris found them for me, drove over them, and acquired them for me, and he got a pretty good price for them, so thrilled about that. Okay, check out this bad boy right here. Yeah, the motor already has a tunnel ram on it. See, here's the top to the tunnel ram. That was on it when I bought it back. But I was able to get this tunnel ram, polished, square port, proven manifold, more modern. I can buy these replacement gaskets all over the place. This one, I have to make the gaskets. But the problem is with the old setup, which is why I bought this setup, is these carburetors are twin Holley 600 vacuum secondaries, and they're new. They look great. They're beautiful. It's good, but I was talking to my friend Jim Brock. He's a retired racer, legendary racer. He's my friend, and he said that the motor won't pull in a vacuum to actually open the secondary, so it's a glorified 4 barrel. And he said what you really need are Holley 660 center squirters. So I was able to get this manifold twin Holley 660 center squirters. They need a rebuild. Got a Holley fuel pressure regulator. I don't know if it's any good. Looks like it's been sitting for a long time. It's got a nice fuel pressure gauge right there. This would be the front side of the motor, what I would see. And it came with this Mr. Gasket scoop. Those are about 400 bucks. They're still for sale. And it has the Coast Guard approved spark arresters on top of both carburetors. Notice the little flap with the red circles is gone. Jim told me, he says, hey, the little micro screws always rattle out and your motor ingests those screws and it takes your motor out. So he says, get rid of those. So I've got that set up. I've got a great carburetor shop down the street, and I'm more than happy to drop these off. And they can also do, like restoration of the outside appearance, so they look brand new. But and then they have a lot of parts. So like I see a weld right here. So, but anyways, I got that set up because I want the boat to haul ass, right? And but I'm probably going to run it first with the old setup, and that way I can see, hey, how much faster is it? But my question for you guys is, what's your opinion? I value opinions, I really do. So what would you like to see on this boat? What do you think would look great on this boat? Do you think I should run the tunnel ram that's already on it and put these carburetors on that tunnel ram? And if you do, should I run this scoop after I polish it? See, I did a little bit of polishing on there to see how easy it will be to make it look nice. Should I run this scoop or should I run the twin velocity stacks? These are brand new Mr. Gasket ones. The ones that came on the boat are the really tall ones, and a little too tall for me, but I have the choice. Velocity stacks with no spark arresters, or spark arresters and a scoop. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. I value your opinion. Okay, let's move on. So these are the rail kit mounts that bolt to the stringers, right? So as you can see, I have not polished that. That looks like absolute trash. But that mirrored perfection, yes, 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 I have been polishing. I bought a polishing rig, and I'm really happy with it. So I have a DA sander with 1,000 grit on it, and I have the heavy cut wheel, then the buff it out to perfection wheel right here, and I'm even using eye protection. Get out of here, get out of here. Then I have some other chemical guys, heavy polish, and this is like a maintenance polish, and my drill and all that. So I'm polishing everything out in my spare time, and that's how that looks. I could have used a heavier grit, but I just went straight to the 1000 and hit it, and that's good enough for me. All right, moving on down the line. The oil pan did not have a drain, so this is a oil pan drain kit, and that is a Generation 6, a Gen 6, big block Chevy, and the oil pan threads are metric on that. So they did not have the kit with the metric, so I bought the standard SAE and bought the metric adapter. So either way, it's going on there, right? I bought a brand new steering wheel, and right here, looks just like the other one, but it's brand new. It's not weathered, a little tighter. It's going to look great. Even got an extra center cap with it right here. Brand new steering wheel. So the motor had these swap meet special afternoon delight is what I call them. No disrespect to Delight Motorsports. I'm just trying to be funny. I don't dig it. They didn't build the motor. I don't even wear words on my shirts. So I got rid of those, and I got a set of these polished, fabricated valve covers, and I got some matching breathers. So my original plan was to powder coat these and maybe do the center in silver. But like I said, I'm on a budget, and I can do that later. So I'm just going to polish them, make them look real nice, and down the road, if I still want to do that, I'm going to do that. All right, so right here we have I'm the bag it, tag it kind of guy. Jet suction housing bolts. These are the transom adapter bolts. They're actually a screw. And then the rail kit mounting bolts. I want all new hardware because this is going to be a brand new boat. And I went over and they sourced the exact same hardware. Only change is I'm going to use nylock nuts so that they don't rattle loose. Because when I took the boat apart, there were two different positions on the rail kit where the nut had rattled out and there was no clamping force. So we're going to take care of that issue. And no disrespect to anybody, stuff happens. All right, staying on this side, I've got oil. Brad Penn. It's now called Penn Grade. I absolutely love this oil. It's the old Kendall racing mix. And you don't, the motor just sounds better when you put it in. I don't know what it is. So I love it. All right, I've got some zip ties. I got some protective wire wrap. I got a lot of it. Got some nylon cable clamps and then more Adel clips. Got a battery box and some fasteners. I have a lot more than that. And then down here I have the fuel pump relay kit. So it's a wiring relay. And then you order this oil pressure switch. So when your oil pressure drops below a specified amount, it shuts your electric fuel pump off. All right. So then I have that momentary switch. See, it's got 6 positions on the back. 2 of them go to one tank on the top, 2 of them go to the other tank on the bottom, and the one in the middle will be the gauge. So momentary fuel switch. I'm going to set this up here for now. And then these are my wiring harnesses. Give me 1 sec and I'll pull it out of the box so you can see it. Okay, these pre-terminated, ready to run, bolt on and go wiring harness kits are from Hardin Marine. Don't quote me on the exact price, but I think it was like $850 for both of them. And they come with a great wiring diagram. So I made copies and I laminated it. I'm going to keep the copies in the boat. And you can see where everything goes and the color. So that's for this part. And then this runs from the gauges back to the motor. There you go with that wiring diagram. So that's the wiring kit that I bought. Looks pretty good. All right. And then I added, because it doesn't come with one, a relay switch, starter relay, because I think that's really important on a boat. That stops those hard cranking moments when everything's all hot and, so we'll add that. All right, and then right here, I have that decorative trim. This is almost a doppelganger match to what originally came on the Southwind. I mean, it's about as close as it gets. That's exactly what was on the boat when I first restored it. And that trim goes around the bottom edge all the way around the inside of the hull. It looks so good in here. I don't even know if I'm going to put it on, really. So, decision needs to be made on that. Okay, moving on. I hope this isn't too boring for you. This is an exciting piece. I ordered this from Ryan, R-Y-A-N, Fab. And I put this card in here so you can see it. No advertising here. He's not in cahoots with me in any way. I just think it's a great product and a great price. So if you're interested in that, that's how you can get a hold of him. This is kind of what he does. All right, so what is this dang thing? Well, it's an umbrella holder, and it's an engine-mounted umbrella holder. And you can order it online. You don't even have to call and talk to him. And you tell them you want it to mount to the left side of your cylinder head or the right side of your cylinder head. And you pop in an umbrella right on the top. I'm probably going to polish this part of it. But this is an exciting piece because I do not want to drill this boat for a bimini top. And look at that. I've already bought the umbrella. Yep, it's fate. Okay, so I've got twin Wicks racing filters. I love Wicks, my favorite brand, 51060R. And then twin Wicks fuel filters, 33033. See that? There you go. And then moving on, if you remember, I had that Southwind dealer brochure that I gave as a gift to Menace Marine. So back in the day, I had an actual original one, an OG, and ended up giving it to a guy with a beautiful Southwind that he obviously loved. I took it right off my truck and handed it to him. So I thought, you know what, I'll just have an Amazon cheapie made, and I can put that on the boat trailer. So I think that's pretty cool. It's cool until it's not cool, right? And then I haven't put the name back on the boat yet, but I do have new registration numbers. And I have this vinyl name if I chose to do that. I don't think that's going to be the way I'm going to go. So, neat trick, if you're not aware of this, if you have a boat with registration numbers or a name that you need to take off, the cheapest, fastest, easiest way, and the way the professionals do it to take that off, is to use Easy Off Oven Cleaner. It wipes it right off the boat. Moving right along. Yeah, I've got new fuel fills on the boat. These ones are vented. I can prove it by blowing in the bottom. I wanted to buy both. They were on sale. If down the road I needed the vented ones, I can just change the part on this that's vented. But even the ones that are not vented are actually vented. And if you're not aware of how these are supposed to work, so that seal, that rubber seal, will actually vent when it's like 4 pounds of pressure. See, it's on a spring in there. So, pretty cool, right? All right, I have a Faria Euro blackface volt gauge to match the new wiring harness because the boat originally had an ammeter on it. Boat did not have a temperature sender, so that's what that is, temperature sending unit. I'm putting a new ignition switch. Yep, and if you remember, the hole goes on the bottom at 6 o'clock. Picked this up at a Bass Pro Shop. I don't even know what state I was in, but my grandfather's boat had a red and white one, and I saw a blue and white one. I said, hey, why the heck not? A couple barb fittings and a couple pipe threads, right? And I've got this fuel water separator with mount and filter. That's great. I've got a master battery disconnect switch. You saw the starter relay. Got a glycerin-filled water pressure gauge, glycerin-filled fuel pressure gauge. Got a brand new forward and reverse controller. Why did I replace this? Well, the other one is in great shape. Yes. The other one is 51 years old. Yes. The other one, the original by Morse Controls, has a white handle. The boat did have white seats when I got it, but I think the black handle will look better because everything is black and chrome and blue and silver. So I wanted to have brand new because I want the boat to be as new as I can make it. All right, so steering helm, this blue bezel is going to cover the steering on the dash, and then this 4-inch extension is going to go on there like that. I didn't want to overblue it, but I thought that would look really good. That is billet aluminum from Eddie Marine, and that is a solid piece. The original wheel had a 2-inch spacer right there, and that's going to go bye-bye. So really, it's only going to stick out about 2 inches more than it did before. So I've got some tools here. This is a 3/4-inch drill bit so that I can drill and install my new through-hole dumps. I have 3 of these. 2 of them are 5/8, one of them is 3/4. And they all have anodized blue tips. So that's the part that's going to be on the outside of the boat. And I think that's going to look great. I have them right here. 1, 2, 3. I've got a, it's a cable seal. This screws into the transom adapter. This guy is neat. You see the grease zircon there. It screws on the outside of the boat, the steering tube, and you put some grease in there, and it keeps the water from going in and ruining your steering cable. I have here a water pressure relief valve. You know, you don't want more than 15 psi water pressure in your motor. Bad things happen. Ask an Oldsmobile owner. The boat was short on stringer washers, so I ordered some more. These need to be polished. That's a real easy thing to do. All right, I've got a ball and spring that goes to the Bassett T for the water control valve for the headers. It's good to replace those every once in a while. I did show you all the new hardware. It's all stainless, grade 5. I even have new machine screws. These are 5/16 by 18 thread by 2.5-inch long. They're identical to what came out of the transom adapter fasteners, with the exception of the original transom adapter fasteners are a flathead. So I don't mind that being Phillips. I want new. It's going to be a new boat. And let me get to something really big. Guys, this is huge. I've been complaining about this, and you guys have been listening to me complain about this. And what I'm talking about is rebuilding that Jacuzzi WJ. Remember how I said you cannot get a wear ring? You can't. And I said, I got one ace in the hole. He had 2 of them. He won't sell me 2 of them. He sold me 1 of them. I have a brand new Jacuzzi WJ wear ring. Let me show you this mythical creature. There it is. It exists. So I've called a couple mold shops, and nobody will make this. Apparently, it's not as easy as you think. It's not something a 3D printer guy can just make. This thing is Lexan, and it has to withstand crazy amounts of pressure. All right, so I got a wear ring. I can rebuild my jet drive. So yes, Jim Brock sold this to me. He's my friend. He also sold me this billet bearing cap with the associated stainless steel Allen hardware. I'm going to polish that out before it goes in the boat. If you don't know, on the Jacuzzi WJ, the factory bearing cap, see how it kind of looks like a star or a plus sign or whatever. It's a major weak point. They're prone to cracking, and when they crack, it allows your impeller to move forward, and it'll seize the pump, but it can also take out the thrust bearing in your engine. So it's a good thing, if you can, to upgrade that bearing cap. And this is important to know because, even if you get an Energizer kit, the Energizer kit does not address the weak failure point of that bearing. And then Jim sold me his very last OG WJ seal kit. It's got the rubber gasket and all the O-rings so I can rebuild the pump. So I was missing a couple parts, and I was able to order them online. So the 3 seals make this rebuild complete, along with this thrust bearing. It's not a Koyo, K-O-Y-O, Koyo bearing, which is the best kind of bearing you can get, but this factory bearing will be good for 500, 550 horse. So got that. I can rebuild my pump. All right. And then I also picked up a backup pump. This pump is absolutely beautiful. Okay. It's got the original rubber gasket on there. The impeller is beautiful. It's tight. It spins smooth. And it's a complete pump, including the transom adapter. So I was able to score that pump for 500. 500, you say? That's too much money. But you know what? After this pump gets rebuilt, if I'm going to do the Energizer down the road, which I most likely will do, they have to machine the transom adapter out to fit the new bowl. So once you do the conversion, you can never go back. So I wanted to have the original transom adapter for the WJ, and I wanted to have something I can build into the Energizer when my bank account is not on fire. So there's that. So yeah, I've got all new hardware. Everything is brand new. I am not playing around, people. Not playing around. All right, so let's say you want to freshen up the way your jet looks. What's the right paint to use. In my humble opinion, it's appliance epoxy paint. It lays out beautifully. It's really thin, takes a bunch of coats to get it to go on there real thick, but it dries like diamonds, and it's great in the water. So that's what I'm going to paint my jet with. That's what I painted it with last time, and that's what I recommend. Appliance epoxy paint. I also picked up a can of this blue. I don't know if it's going to be a good match, but it's the closest thing I could find. And we'll see what it looks like. I might do the blue in the name with that. I don't know yet. Also got some acetone, and I got some paint thinner. And this is another suction housing gasket. This is a fiber one that I ordered online. And these are the headers that came off of the boat when I bought it. What am I going to do with these headers? I'm not really a twisty kind of guy, but headers are getting really hard to come by. You know, a new set's $2,500. So I will most likely sell these once the boat's together and running. Who knows? And what am I going to do? Depending on what tunnel ram I choose to run, I'm probably going to end up running that one. I'm not too sure. I want to see what the comments say because I value your opinion. I will probably sell one of them with those Holley vacuum secondaries, which will be an awesome thing for something on the street. So that's where I'm at. First thing I'm going to do is get the motor up on the engine hoist. I'm going to drain the oil out, change the oil filter, put that new oil pan drain hose kit on there, and put the oil back in it. And I want it to sit for a couple days. I want to make sure it doesn't leak before I put that back in the boat. One thing I have to do before I can start anything is I have to take off these U-bolt mounts on the transom because they're not supposed to mount that way. I would rather clearance the aluminum plate so the studs from the U-bolts just slip through the plate. That way I can take the plate off and all of the fun activities I need to mount on there. Fun note that I didn't state before, Poncho took the wood part of the plate that had the bolts sticking through. He said he bonded them to the transom like you would a stringer into the boat. So he fiberglassed them, he used Cabasil, he fiberglassed over them, and he gel coated. So if this plate is removed, you'll see nothing but black gel coat. And if you remember, that wood is kiln dried, sanded, so there's no moisture in it. So that'll last for a long time. But I do have to fix those U-bolt anchors. And I need to get all of this stuff figured out before I put a motor in the way and try and work around that. And I still got to find out how I'm going to rebuild that jet, even though I have all the parts. I don't have the tools. Yeah, I don't have the tools to rebuild that jet. And when I helped Jim in the shop, you know, I told him when I went in there, I'm not here to get any of your trade secrets. I don't want to know anything. So I just did the difficult, dirty work, and I presented it to him so he can do his specialty. And I didn't want my eyes to see what he did. You know, I have a pretty good idea how to do it. I know it's not too difficult of a rebuild. I did assemble the pump for my aunt and uncle. We built them a custom pump. But I don't want to rebuild that pump myself. There's too much on the line. I went through too much to get that wear ring for me to like experiment on the pump and mess it up. So I don't know where I'm going to have it rebuilt yet. Don't know. But I will have an answer, you know? The answer will come.